Hello, everybody. I'm doing this recording from my car. It's about to be towed, so let us use this time in a more productive way. And I will uh, talk about the second match in the Bridge Brawl. One of our players had an issue and only got in midway through the match, so uh, Gregor, the player that we will follow, played with a robot for the first few boards. But let's move to the view graph screen and follow his decisions. Like the other broadcasts, I wasn't playing this match. I don't know the hands will be surprised or not as much as the board. It is the board, and North Gregor tried an off shape one note trump, which is often a good strategy, playing with a robot. And uh, the robot showed a Smolen type hand, 4 hearts and 5 spades, and he placed a contract in 4 spades, and he will play it. And after the trump lead, let's do our little planning together to see if we will match his own play or not. We can count 8 tricks, right? 5 spades, 2 aces, and a heart. That's 8. We can get a 9th easily enough by roughing a heart. And the 10th can come from the diamond finesse, leading a low diamond to the queen at some point, or from a short heart, the jack of hearts. So those are the main chances here. We might even decide to finesse against the jack of hearts in some variants. But clearly we should start with, well, winning cheaply if we can, and leading. Well, I would lead a heart to try to establish my heart ruff before trying diamonds, but well, the Gregor shows that his line is more successful against his opponent at least, and now he can now he has 11 tricks actually. You ruff a diamond and pitch one in the ace of clubs. So this was a lead from the jack fourth. I wasn't expecting that. That is a peculiar lead. Quite peculiar indeed. But now he will lose the king of diamonds and make 10 tricks. So he read the cards quite well. He was at the table. That's always a big differential. Well done to North. What I would have done in his place after winning the 8 of spades is to lead the king of hearts first. And at some point I would lead ace of diamonds and a diamond. Would this line win? Yes, it would, because the jack of hearts would fall. So I would ruff a heart in my hand. I would lose a spade, a heart, and probably only one diamond, because I would be able to ruff, let's say, king of hearts. He would perhaps play another heart as he did, and now we would win the queen of hearts, play a ruff a heart, and after the jack falls, we might even give up on the diamond finesse and play on cross ruff lines. We might play ace of clubs, club ruff, 10 of hearts, discarding the diamond, diamond to the ace, club ruff, diamond ruff for the queen, which is our last trump. So there's no over ruff. Anyway, both lines are apparently reasonable. So let's go to board 2. Board 2, Gregor did not participate in the auction. So the robot's 3 diamonds is a major 2 suitor, I guess, yes. But Wolvers is not. I am in full agreement with the decision to pass as North. If partner has a humongous hand, he can always do something over 5 clubs. That is a strange auction, of course. West has a gazillion clubs, and the leader, the king of spades, I guess he will try to play a heart at this point, and that was successful. Nice lead, and basically, declarer will draw trumps and run diamonds. Yes, indeed. 10 tricks, very nice lead by North. Instructive lead. For those of you who haven't seen that kind of lead yet. And third board still with a robot. He was, I think, a bit timid. I would have bet 2 hearts over 1 spade, but I'm not an expert on playing with robot. I might be wrong. He might be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, after 1 no trump to no trump, the robots do play transfers here. I'm aware of that, and so was he. And 4 clubs, is it? Clubs? Yes, it is. So he managed to show the hand quite well. It's a maximum hand for a 1 no trump response, and with hearts and clubs. Over 4 hearts, I would give it up. I really would think that I have described my hand sufficiently, and I don't like to chase slams in general. That may be a weakness of my game, actually, that I am too conservative in slam bidding. But anyway, now let's play with a robot. And it's strange that we are in hearts instead of clubs. 6 clubs would have been a very nice contract. And the problem, the rot set in when the robot bid 4 hearts over 4 clubs. Because you see, even the explanation shows that shows 3 hearts. He should have shown enthusiasm for clubs, typically by not bidding 4 hearts. Any non-4 heart bid here would show a club fit. So 4 diamonds by South over 4 clubs would show a club fit, and then they would be in 6 clubs. But the robot misdescribed his hand quite egregiously, and now he's in a very poor slam that requires no trump losers. If our trump were clubs, or trumps were clubs, and we could rough a few hearts in our hand, the slam would be much more reasonable. Not a lock, mind, because we might get over roughed in hearts. Our clubs are not quite good enough for us to get in an over roughing spree, but reasonable if hearts are 3-3, or if the length in club in hearts is in West. We are favorites. So it's a reasonable 6 clubs and a horrible 6 hearts. But full blame for our friend the robot for raising hearts on 2. In effect, that's what he did. And the cards were all breaking wonderfully for 6 clubs. And so this is a big disaster for our team. Now we are playing with humans at last. Our player arrived at the table at board 4. And Gregor, am I recording this just to make sure? I think I am. I'm not quite sure. Gregor splintered as a passed hand, which is a perhaps aggressive, but not misleading description. I'm not. This hand might not have quite enough for 4 clubs, and therefore after double pass, he had bid his all. So 4 clubs is, I guess, okay. And both hands are weak, so there's no thoughts of slam. Even if the splinter is hitting a nice holding opposite, 3 small opposite a splinter is good. South knows that we don't have power for slam since partner is a passed hand. Even if we gave partner a fifth heart, that would make his hand a non-controversial splinter. We would still require a heart break plus a spade finesse, which would put it under 50%. And as it is, the game here is basically roughing the clubs and guessing the spades. And our player tried to guess the spades at trick 2, failed. Now he will rough a club, heart to hand, rough another club, and heart to hand. That gives him 11 tricks. Then we get a 1-0 trump opening bid by Gregor. And after a transfer, he accepted, and it was doubled in 2 spades. He'll play 2 spades from the short side, doubled. So the spades are in east. The long spades are in east. West is doubling to reopen the auction. And partner has a wonderful hand. We have to assume that spades are 4-2 or 5-1, which means we should not be touching trumps right now, because if we touch trumps, let's say we play ace of spades and a spade right now, and it goes east wins and west shows out, even if west has a singleton honor, let's say, so that east has the equivalent of king jack 10, queen jack 10, fifth. He will win the second spade, cash out all the spades, leave us with a trump or trick or not. I don't know if that 9 will stand, but after that, he will cash clubs and either force or less trump or just run clubs. So we would be at risk of them winning something like 4 spades, 4 clubs, and 2 hearts. 10 tricks, that would be 1,400. Not ideal. So we need to develop our side tricks before we relinquish trump control. So the trick, yes, as expected, Gregor has to develop his heart trick before anything else. Now note that they are roughing from the length, which is good, and that West has queen jack 10 of diamonds, so that we will be able to develop a diamond tricks plural by force at some point. Now he could probably play, I don't know if ace of spades and a spade, but maybe ace of spades and a diamond. But he wants to keep that ace of spades as an entry to the long diamonds. On the other hand, the risk of not playing trumps right now is if trumps are 4-2, then they can rough something with a high card in West and promote a trump for themselves. What that means, in effect, is that if East has 4 good trumps and West has 2 good trumps, let's say, since all their trumps are good, all it needs is a small honor in West, as small as the 10. They are playing in a 4-2 fit, in effect, if that is the case. East has 4, West has 2. And if they can rough something in the shorthand with a doubleton, that is an extra trick for them. Even though we can overrough, we will be promoting a trump in East's hand. So it's not an easy situation right now, what to do, whether to play ace of spades and another to prevent, to take precaution against this situation, or in effect to hope for a misdefense, because the idea of establishing a diamond and keeping the ace of spades as an entry to cash a diamond is only useful if they will not cash clubs upon winning the diamonds. And what else can they do? They have to, of course, proper defense after, if you lead a diamond, would be for them to cash exactly 2 clubs, so that South no longer has losers to throw away. And after cashing 2 clubs, East would lead a heart if he has it. And he probably has it because he has a singleton diamond. The only safe situation would be if he had 4-3-1-5, but then he would play a club. But a club would be safe because West could not overruff a club. Yeah, I think I don't know what to do here. I would choose one of the two lines. I would. I think I would cash ace in another, but I'm not sure. And they are indeed. Well, that is a bad sign. Yeah, the fourth heart is here. So now there will be a promotion. We will win one extra trick here. But since West had 2 to the 10, if we had played ace and another, we will win 2 tricks besides the ace instead of only one. Next hand, it's a fourth seat opening bid, followed by a preference. Nothing more should be said. Wow. I don't like South's bidding. I much prefer 2 hearts or even 2 diamonds to 1 spade. Some people play 2 diamonds as some form of drury. And if you do that, then I much prefer 2 hearts. And I also prefer opening these hands with something. My own preference, it may sound like uh, uh, tailored to this hand, but I'm on record saying that if you have a 6-5, but not enough to open, you should open in your 5-card major. That sounds paradoxical, but this hand is a good example. So that's if South had, let's say, the king of spades in addition to his hand. Now that would be enough to open. Now I would advocate for a 1 diamond opening bid followed by reverses. Another way of putting this is that I think any opening bid with a 6-5 shape is worth a reverse. If you have an opening bid and you have a 6-5 shape, you can reverse. The 6-5 is way too powerful. If you can't open, in theory, like this hand here, you are not good enough to open. You should open because of the 6-5. But now you focus on the major. When you have a 6-5, a lopsided 6-5 with a major and a minor. And so I would have opened 1 heart here, and that would have gotten us to 4 hearts, which is probably better than 2 spades. Whether it will make or not, we'll find out soon. But 2 spades appears quite safe. Wow. Diamonds are 5-1. That is somewhat good for the from the viewpoint that we are hoping that 4 hearts goes down. But our spots in diamonds are so good that maybe that will not be enough. Anyway, now I would lead a heart to dummy and finesse in spades. I don't believe that the spade lead would be easy to find from the queen. And it was. But anyway, certainly it's not a double queen, so we're not losing any tricks here. The queen was guarded. And now, if hearts are breaking, he will lose only the 1 trick at the end. He will lose the club king at the end. So well played by everybody here, except in the bidding, but in the play, it was okay. Next hand, we have a go away little box. 2 club opening bid, is it strong? Yes, it is. And 2 hearts is natural. So it's a fairly popular system nowadays to play 2 hearts as 2-way, either hearts or balanced, but it's not the case with our opponents here. So East is showing spades and then raising hearts. And upon hearing the heart raise, West felt he had enough to move towards slam when he found one key card opposite. So what will be our lead here? I would probably lead a spade, even though it's dummy suit, but I don't like any other option. And two spades really required an alert here if you can beat two spades with this kind of hand. Basically, what can he do if partner raises two spades? Raises two spades to three. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Partner had a nice 10, so Declara has ace king queen of clubs. And I would play another club, hoping that Declara had four clubs. That would be our best bet, but not today. After leading a club. So apparently Declara has 7 hearts and 3 clubs. That gives him 9 tricks. If he has the spade finesse, that's 11. And he surely has the ace of diamonds because he's not beating 6 off 2 aces for 12. So what we should be doing here is trying to talk him out of the spade finesse. We are squeezed in clubs and spades if he does have a spade, and indeed the squeeze just happened. And so maybe if we had led a spade, Declara would finesse. There's no other sensible plan for him. If we had led a diamond, hitting partners king queen, Declara would finesse in spades. Once again, there's no sensible line. So this is a lay down slam, but a lucky one. So that is hard luck for our team. And the final board, it's a clear two spade opening bid in my view, just as it was for Gregor. And raised to only 3 spades. I would bid 4 in a flash with the south hand. And I really am quite surprised by the conservative view of south. And Declara will get, if trumps break, he will get 8 trump tricks with 2 roughs and 2 aces. Well, trumps are not breaking. That is good news in a sense, in more than one sense, because now we know that we have 4 top losers after the hard lead. So that was an extraordinarily lucky break for South. Very well. Let's look at the other table. Our opponents won by 27 imps. We saw that in the prior screen, but let's see how they got them. Here we have a more standard auction. Instead of a one trump opening bid, a club, a spade, 2 clubs, followed by spade preference, which put South in game. The diamond lead helps Declara to get a diamond trick immediately. And Declara is playing roughly on cross rough lines at this point, and the defense is helping him. Now he will be able to cross rough the entire hand, apparently. Everybody's following suit to everything. Intriguing that Declara decided to play a spade now instead of a heart. I would have rough a heart with a queen and lead a good club from dummy, playing for the jack of spades on side for the over trick. Well, he managed to do that by... No, he did not. He got only 10 tricks. Thought he still had a trump in his hand, but he didn't. So that was a push because of the favorable diamond lead at that table. Next hand, you will remember that we defended against 5 clubs, and our North found a nice lead of the King of Spades to defeat it. And here, and the equally nice lead of the Heart also defeats it. Yeah. So we lost 2 imps here. We saw that this hand should be in 6 clubs. And here, when North bid 2 hearts and had 3 clubs from his partner, that was fairly easy to reach. And there's no sensible line of play that doesn't get to 12 tricks by establishing hearts. So that was a big swing for them. This one, East opened 1 club in this table. That didn't happen at the other table. And apparently this slowed down North-South. Although as North, I would never bid only 2 hearts with that. And that would be at least 3 hearts, maybe 3 clubs, if that shows a mixed raise in my partnerships. But the singleton club will be undisclosed in this scenario. And that makes it tougher for North-South to reach game. And I have a lot of sympathy for them. But it clearly cost them a lot, 10 imps. Then we get the same auction for 2 spades doubled. But they went down 1 less. So I guess at some point, North played ace and another spade. Well, very early. I prefer, well, not yet. I would say, I was about to say, I prefer my teammates play for heart first. But in effect, and especially after cashing this King of Spades, no, there's no longer any promotion for the defense, and so the defense will make 1 fewer trick here. As I commented, 4 hearts was reachable if South had opened 1 heart, or in this fashion here. Let's see if it will make. And there are, if there is a misguess in spades, the defense can get 3 tricks. Best defense here is a trump. But East sensibly hope for something like the 8 of hearts in partner's hand. 8 of hearts would be enough. And now Declarer he probably should draw trumps and play the 10 of diamonds. He's roughing clubs instead and leading a spade to the king. That duck of a spade at this point was, I think, a slight error by West. After the spade was pitched by the club ace, he knows that Declarer has only 1 spade left. So West should be aware that Declarer's hand is 2-0 in the blacks because there was no spade raise. 6-5 or 5-6. Actually, given the bidding, I would put a lot of money on 5-6 because South didn't open. That appears to show that he has only 5 hearts, not 6. So I would win the ace of spades and lead a trump. And that would not strike terror in the opposition, since he can draw trumps and give up a diamond. But that's how I would play as West here. And Declarer's line of cross-ruffing instead of establishing diamonds is fraught with a lot of risks. If West had a Jack-10 third of hearts, for instance, he might overruff at some point. But now he has 10 tricks. Next case is the slam. That is a very lucky slam, depending on the finesse. Actually, here, after the spade over call, the slam became much better. That is curious. Now the spade finesse is closer to a 70%, 60-70% proposition. than the straight 50% that it was at the other table. But it is tough for East-West to diagnose that there are two even possible tricks, not established, but two possible tricks in East. So as I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of hunting for borderline slams. And so I would probably have duplicated this result here. And the final deal, 4 spades by North-South. North did not open 2 spades. I am in disagreement with this school. And I'm actually in disagreement with a lot of things that's going on here. I would have opened 4 hearts as East after part as a passed hand. I would have rebid 4 hearts as East after 2 diamonds passed 2 spades. I would probably not have doubled 4 spades, although I have more sympathy for that because partner should have more in high cards and less in distribution. That's how I would interpret the whole bidding here. But the final result is that after the heart lead, yes, there was a heart lead. If he did not lead a heart, the declarer could make 10 tricks by establishing the king of diamonds for a heart pitch, but not after a heart lead, which means this is slated to go down 1. And so that got 6 imps for us, but not enough for any kind of showing. 27 imps to the opponents, well done. And until the next video about the Bridge Brawl, see ya. Bye-bye.